Welcome to my channel about cross stitch and cats called Stitchy Cat Lady. I'm Jo, this is Luna, Otis is down there. So I'm not going to faff about too much at the beginning. I want to make this fairly short and sweet because I'm out this afternoon and I'm hoping to actually get a bit more footage. Professional. Hoping to get a little bit more footage this afternoon because I'm actually going to my mum's craft club with her for the afternoon. Okay, so today we've got a WIP parade and some haul and a couple of safs and a finish. Okay, so I'll start with my two active WIPs and then do the others. So the first one is Witch's Cat from Bothy Threads. This was a gift from my friend Sam. She does have a YouTube channel and Instagram, What Sam Did Next. There's not much on there, but I keep encouraging her to do a bit more. So Sam had bought a copy of this for herself, realised how much I'd like it, bought one for me, and then made sure I got it as part of the gift exchange that we did at the Pole Stitches retreat in September. Sorry, a Flosstube itchy nose every time. So I did start it that weekend, didn't get very far with it, just somewhere in the middle around here. And for some reason I didn't touch it at all after I got home, and I realised a week or so ago that I just didn't like working on the speckled Ada. I'm just not a huge fan of working on Ada. So I swapped out some Pole Stitches fabric and restarted it. This is where I've got. So not far short of 1,000 stitches in about a week. Well, yeah, a week. So I mean, these cute little ears, I mean, how adorable are they? So the fabric is 28 count Brittany Lugana from Pole Stitches, Mountain Dewdrops. So it's got purple, which I thought toned well with the hat, and just this sort of little beige bits. And it's going to be more than big enough. So I'm quite pleased with that progress in about a week. My other active WIP, I'll put a photo up of the full thing, is Planet Dragons. So this is a piece of artwork by Rob Carlos, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is huge. The fabric runs selvage to selvage. It's 20 count purple Ada. So I've done Mercury and Venus already. So as you can probably guess, I'm working on the sun. And from here to the bottom is only about 100 stitches. So I was thinking I was going to try and get the sun finished this month. I don't think that's going to happen, but I am aiming for 2012 stitches. I've already done more than that, but I am aiming for a prompt in a new game I'm playing. Fandom Stitching Central. It's a new game group on Facebook that I've joined. This year the fandom is Lord of the Rings. And because this month we're looking at The Hobbit, the Peter Jackson version, so the first film, Unexpected Journey. So we're, because that film came out in 2012, there is a prompt to do 2012 stitches, and you get a load of points to your team. I'm on Team Elves. If anybody's surprised by that, you don't know me. So if I can get 2012 stitches on the sun, I've already got part way through that. I think I've got about 500 or 600 done. So yeah, hopefully I can get that done by the end of the month. So a long way to go on this. I'm at about 18%. But you know, that's better than it was before I picked it up this time, because I was only on 17%. So that's my two active WIPs this week. I'll probably put the Witch's Cat away next week, but at the minute I'm just really enjoying stitching on it. It was so cute. So WIP parade. It's not huge. It's not huge. Okay, so first we have all these little bags. This is crystallized stitch along from Lakeside Needlecraft. The designer, I believe, is Oksana Polyakova. I will confirm that. So as you can see, I haven't done very much on this. It's all complete. There's 12 stones and I haven't even finished the 4th one. The fabric is from a grab bag from Pole Stitches, 28 count even weave as usual. If I ever don't say what fabric I'm using, just assume it's 28 count even weave, because you'll probably be right. It's just from a grab bag. I don't know what it's called, but I did get the full kit, so I got all the threads, and just look at those colours. And just, those colours are just gorgeous. So that's number 1. And number 2 is another Heaven and Earth Designs project. This is a little bit further along. This is Spider's Queen, artwork by Little Fairy Arts. There is, in a previous video, there's a time-lapse section on doing that eye. I mean, she's gorgeous. I'm not quite at that end, but as you can see, I'm not that far off. So at the moment I'm trying to get that spider done. When that's done, I'll probably move over to this corner and try and get to the edge. That needle minder is from Agnes Little Minders, as are the ones on Witch's Cat and Planet Dragons. Agnes's needle minders are not cheap. Do not go looking at Agnes's little minders if you're looking to spend a £5. It's not going to happen. But they are beautiful and unique. So the next one is the companion piece to the Cryptids Stitch Along. It's done. This is the Supernatural Sal by the Witchy Stitcher. So again, it's all complete. There's 16 panels. I've done 4. The fabric is 32 count even weave, again from Pole Stitches, called Rumbles of Thunder. I'm using the called for colours with the occasional exception of an étoile, leans the étoile when I can, and a couple of Jodrey Designs hand-dyed threads for the lettering and the bats down the edge of the border. So again, I will show the whole thing. I will put a photo up. Sorry, porridge. Next we have Sleepy Hollow and Blend in Place. So I'm doing this technically as a stitch along with the Coven. So that is Mad Morty, DNA Geekcraft, Stitchy Rin, Greta Road Gamer, anybody else who wanted to join in. So it's hashtag Sleepy Hollow Coven Sal. I think I'll have to check and confirm that, but Carrie also has a Sal as a hashtag. Spooky magic all year round, which I love. So making some nice progress, working on the border, getting some back stitch done. Excuse all the threads hanging around, but I do park. So I've started on the moon, which is so the actual horse itself, I've just got a bit of mane to do there, and then the gaps in that up and the saddle. The gaps there are for the actual rider or for the horseman. I do need to do more backstitch on. I've done some, but not as much as I really should have. The moon is done in Karen Water Lilies, lemon and lime. Yeah, I've got some unpicking to do. I've used the wrong shade of brown in this part of the tree. It looks much redder than up there. Don't know how I've done it. I don't think it's a dye lot issue. I think it's more, I just picked up the wrong one. Never mind, these things happen. So that's Sleepy Hollow. I'm a little bit ashamed of this one. This should have been finished before now, but I just haven't got round to dealing with it. The only thing left to do is some of the back stitch and beads. All the actual stitching is done. So this was Nora Corbett's contribution to the Pole Stitches retreat in 2019. This isn't the fabric that came with the kit. The fabric that came with it was much paler, but it meant that the bird didn't actually show up on it very well. So it's basically 3 shades of DMC and 2 Karen Water Lilies silk, which, yeah, it's just gorgeous to work with, and then lots of beads. So I really need to get myself in gear and get that done. And that's kind of what it should look like when it's finished, but you know. And last but by no means least, see, I told you it was short, we have Bellatrix from Bella Filipina. I bought this and threads from Pole Stitches again. Fabric is from Pole Stitches. It's called Bewitched. Oh, the fabric on Sleepy Hollow is Hocus Pocus. It's more purple than the original, but I love it. So, Bellatrix. Stupid gap. So Bellatrix. Yeah, so the border's a little bit boring, but at the minute, because it's just straight lines. Seriously, she's trying to play with my picture. So the trees here are all done in half stitch. I've started on the cat. I am doing metallic as I go because sometimes I behave like that. So yeah, she's beautiful. And again, I think she's probably going to be the next one out. Although I do sometimes use the Tiny Decisions wheel to decide which piece I'm going to do next. So, yeah, so there's some Karen Water Lilies in that. There's some Cryonics, lots of beads. And that's it. WIP parade done. So, on to haul. Stupid cat. So, I wouldn't normally do an advent calendar, but I did one this year. I did the Jodery thread advent calendar this year. Last year I did the Jodery thread advent calendar, so it was a thread a day for 25 days, because she included Christmas Day. You watch these all fall out now. I did start taking photographs and putting them on my Instagram, but I got bored with that quite quickly. So these are all of them. I would have liked more purple, but that's because I like purple. But they're all beautiful. And I'm just going to show you some of my favourites in detail. There's turquoise and grey, which is showing up pretty trim. and that's called Atropis. I think that's something to do with the three fates, you know, who weave the lives and snip threads and all of that. I've got this one, Royal Blooms. Some of these threads were exclusives to this, to the 2022 thread advent, or the full advent where she did the fabric as well. Some of them are from previous, you know, reproductions from previous years. I don't mind, they're all beautiful. So this is a bit, you know, pinky and purple, not pinky and the brain, or pinky and perky. So that's a couple of my favourites. I kind of like that one as well. So that's the Jodery threads, and each one was in a separate paper bag, so all that's gone in the recycling. I did start numbering the labels, but again I got fed up with that. So as well as Jodery, I did the Mo sale 12 days of Christmas, so that started on Christmas Day, and you did one package a day for 12 days, and we got a whole variety, not just threads, and there was no fabric in it this year. We got all sorts of little knickknacks and bits and pieces. So day one was a little orc catcher, which is dead sweet and is already in use. Just some trimmings, buttons, some lace. The buttons could come in really handy for me, was an idea that I've got for maybe doing a little bit of extra, getting a little bit of extra money. So we've got all sorts in that. So silk hank of silk, hank of cotton, all sorts of bits and pieces, scissors, some reels of silk. These are dyed to match the DMC colours, and they are numbered. Some pretty little pins, beeswax, needle minders. You can never have too many needle minders. And in this is an email address to send off for the last day's thing, which I assume is a chart, because simply based on the fact that it was last year. But I still haven't got around to doing it, so I need to do that. Okay, let's straighten you up again. As well as the 12 days, I'd been sort of placing orders with Mo throughout the last 12 months. So everything came together. I mean, just look at that haul. All those threads. Most of them are silk, including my 2 hanks of black. So I've got a couple of the Joan Elliott silhouettes. These would be brilliant for that. Do them on coloured fabric. This one, I don't know whether it was my error or Mo's. Cotton hank, I don't normally order hanks. I'm fine with it. So we've got all sorts of colours in here. I've not gone through it properly yet. I mean, just amazing, some of these. I have no idea what I'm going to use them for, but that's just not the point, is it? Okay, so most of what I get is silk. And I always buy them in 2s, just in case, because you're not going to be able to get them again. Yeah, some gorgeous stuff there from Mo. So thank you very, very much, Mo. I'm not really doing much this year, just simply because shipping is getting ridiculous. The 12 days has gone up a little bit, and just the economic climate at the minute, it's not something I can justify. What next? More haul. Susie K bag. Some of this was Christmas presents, some of it I've bought at Pole Stitches retreat and then passed on to people in exchange for money, and they gave me back at Christmas. This was the Agnes little minder that I got. I ordered it while we were out for dinner for my parents' wedding anniversary. I mean, just gorgeous. Mum knew what I was doing and why. These were my retreat purchases that I got back, and a grab bag that I ordered just after. There's 4 pieces of fabric in there. Another Bella Filipina. The fabric's not exactly the right colour, but I think that will work brilliantly. In fact, I did buy this fabric with that purpose in mind. So yeah, that's the retreat stuff done. My last fabric and threads from Jodery. I've literally got nowhere else to store fabric. I have run out of room, and I've got to the end of the threads. So these are the antique threads, numbered 21 to 30, and as far as I'm aware 30 is the last one, and it was only a few months ago that it only went up to 25. But again, some beautiful colours in here. I mean, those two are just gorgeous. I'm going to have so much fun working out what to use these for. But first they need bobbinating, because they're not actually that easy to use when they're wound like this. So I do bobbinate my Joderies, but I've got several months worth to do. And finally, is the most recent of the Pole Stitches theme boxes. So this was the Sun and the Moon. Jen Elliott's contribution. See, this is the sort of thing that those black silk hanks would be used for me. It looks like a cat. But I've got a couple of different designs that would work as well. And Jo's contribution. I'm actually thinking of messaging Jo and seeing if she might have that as a PDF, rather than using it off paper, because something that dense I'm going to need a PDF. And the fabrics, we've got Moon Opal and Sunshine Girl. So Moon Opal, coming through a bit more purple, and Sunshine Girl, so Moon and Sun. And that, ladies and gents and everybody, is that. A quick life update. So I have finished working at the gallery. I finished there in the middle of January, and to some extent I do miss it, but not hugely. I mean, in that 2 weeks I actually did a month's worth of hours. But I have also started a new job. I am tutoring English online. So it's working from home, set my own hours, and it's fun. I have spoken to people from all over the world. So yeah, it's going well. So I'm going to do a couple of shout outs. I've not really been watching Flosstube for some reason. I don't know why, just not got around to it. But I know that a lot of my friends, the Coven and Extended Coven, have been publishing videos. Amber Red One with Stitcher has been very prolific throughout January and February. Total Stitch Show has done one in the last week or so. Michelle Giddy Stitcher has been publishing, so yeah, go give them a look. There are more. DNA Gate Crafts has put a new one up. Stitcher In has put new ones up. So I just haven't watched any of them yet. And I do apologise for that, and I will get round to it. Life kitty update. Ozzy's been quite poorly. He's been at the vet hospital, but he seems to be doing really well now with medication. He's in heart failure, but the prospects are looking good as long as we keep up with the medication and he keeps doing well. It's really, things are looking good. Living as a maniac, honestly. She's staring at me now. Okay, with that I will say goodbye. Hopefully we'll see you next time. If you have enjoyed this video, please click that like button. If you think you'd like to see more, please click the subscribe and the notify bell, and I will see you next time. Bye.